Anthony, Tony, John Soprano, portrayed by James Gandolfini, is a fictional character and the protagonist of the HBO crime drama television series The Sopranos. He is a member of the Italian-American Mafia and, later in the series, acts as the boss of the fictional DiMeo crime family, later called the Soprano crime family, of North Jersey. The character was conceived by Sopranos creator and showrunner David Chase, who was also largely responsible for the character's story arc throughout the series. Tony Soprano was born in 1959 in Newark, New Jersey, to Livia and Johnny Soprano. His father was a capo regime in the DiMeo crime family, and he grew up with his parents and two sisters. Tony's mother was cruel and joyless, and their relationship was complicated when she murdered her boyfriend. In high school, Tony met his future wife, Carmela DeAngelis, and became friends with Artie Buccio, Davy Scatino, and his maternal cousin Tony Blundetto. Tony was part of an unofficial crew of young criminals, including childhood friends Silvio Dante, Ralph Cifaretto, and Giacomo Jackie Aprile. Senior, they gained notoriety by robbing a card game run by Feach Law Manna. Tony committed his first murder in 1982 under the tutelage of his father's friend Paulie Walnuts Galtieri. Johnny shepherded Tony through his ascendancy until his death in 1986. His older brother, Junior, took over as Tony's mentor, and Tony became acting capo of his father's old crew. Jackie became acting boss after Ercole DiMeo was sent to prison in 1995. After Jackie's death in 1998, Tony ended the succession crisis by endorsing Junior as the official boss of the family. Tony secretly struck a deal with the rest of the family to be the true boss, allowing Junior to act as a distraction for the FBI. Tony commits 8 murders as a boss, including Wilson Overall, Fabian Petrolio, Chucky Signore, Matthew Bevilacqua, Salvatore Big Pussy Bonpensiero, Ralph Cifaretto, Tony Blundetto, and Christopher Moltisanti. These murders leave Tony perplexed and unsure of how to cope. Febby's murder is out of retaliation for ratting out crew members for immunity. Big Pussy's murder is due to Ralph's brutal murder of Tracy. Ralph Cifaretto's murder is revenge for a failed attempt, and Christopher Moltisanti's murder is an emotional reaction. Tony lives in North Caldwell, New Jersey with his wife and 2 children, Meadow Soprano and Anthony, A.J. Soprano. Tony is portrayed as a loving father who attends his children's sporting events and tries to ensure they have luxuries and opportunities. He hopes that both his children will escape the life of crime he has led. Meadow's achievements are celebrated, but Tony sometimes alienates his children with his behavior. Tony's protectiveness of Meadow leads to feuds with her first boyfriend, Noah Tannenbaum, and Jackie Aprile Jr. Jackie becomes involved in the mafia, leading to Tony's beating and eventual death. Tony accepts Meadow's college friends and her fiancé, Finn, before they separate. Tony worries about AJ's future, believing he won't succeed in the mafia. After AJ's release, Tony and Carmela dissuade him from joining the army. Tony, a character in the show in Camelot, is an animal lover who has a strong attachment to animals. He's been traumatized by the loss of his childhood dog, Tippy, and is involved in horse racing through his friend Hashratkin. When his horse is killed in a fire, Tony kills Ralph Cifaretto, expressing his deep sadness. Tony, a passionate fisherman, is haunted by Pussy Bonpensiero's incarnation as a fish. He owns 2 motor yachts, Stugatz and Stugatz II, and is a frequent cigar smoker and gun enthusiast. He is also a history buff, particularly World War II, and listens to progressive rock and pop music, despite his concerns about drug use. Tony engages in recreational use multiple times in the latter half of the series, smoking marijuana and using peyote on a trip to Las Vegas. Tony, a mobster in the series, is fond of Cadillac and Lincoln vehicles. He drives a 1999 Chevrolet Suburban LT4x4 for 4 seasons, then a black Cadillac Escalade ESV in Season 5, which is totaled in an accident and replaced with a white Escalade ESV. Tony is a serial adulterer with a preference for European women, particularly Italian. His mistresses include Irina Peltsin, Gloria Trillo, Valentina La Paz, Svetlana Kirilenko, and Juliana Skiff. Tony admires Svetlana for her toughness and determination. Juliana, a Jewish real estate developer, and Christopher Moltisanti have a destructive, codependent drug habit. Tony suffers from panic attacks and is referred to psychiatrist Dr. Jennifer Melfi for therapy. His therapy allows for a discussion of his thoughts and feelings, describing it as a Greek chorus. Tony initially resists accepting a psychiatric diagnosis for his symptoms, but begins to open up with Dr. Melfi. They discuss his business life, his mother Livia, and the relationship between his symptoms and ducks in his pool. Dr. Melfi suggests depression may have contributed to her car accident. Tony's sarcastic and antagonistic behavior towards Dr. Melfi leads to an ongoing strain in their relationship. Tony eventually ends therapy and persuades Dr. Melfi to go into hiding. In the first season, Tony is attacked by two hitmen, William Johnson Petit Claiborne and Rasheen Ray, who attempt to kill him. In the sixth season, Junior Soprano, suffering from dementia, shoots Tony in the abdomen, causing him to lose consciousness. Tony is in a medically induced coma in the hospital, where he experiences a dreamlike state and a shadowy figure with his dead mother. He wakes from the coma in a confused but stable state, and his attitude changes. In the sixth season, Tony sustains minor injuries in a car accident, injuring his nephew, Christopher Moltisanti. He suffocates Christopher and recovers, but his family still remembers his nearly fatal shooting the previous year. Tony Soprano has vivid dreams in various episodes, including Pax Soprana, Isabella, Funhouse, Everybody Hurts, Calling All Cars, and The Test Dream. In Meadowlands, Tony experiences a penis fall-off and worries about people finding out he's seeing a psychiatrist. In Isabella, Tony suffers from depression after Big Pussy disappears. In Funhouse, Tony's subconscious thoughts are exposed through symbolic events. In The Test Dream, Tony confronts his cousin Tony Blundetto. Tony Soprano, the first likable anti-hero character in television, became a pop culture icon during its run. His performance rejiggered television's fascination with morally challenged anti-heroes and less than physically perfect protagonists. The show's final scene, Made in America, became the subject of much discussion and controversy after its original broadcast. After Gandolfini's death in 2013, his portrayal of Tony Soprano was praised for its influence on subsequent TV characters. TV Guide columnist Matt Roush stated that without Tony, there's no Vic Mackey of The Shield, Al Swearingen of Deadwood, or Don Draper of Mad Men. His co-stars and colleagues also praised him for his towering central performance. Gandolfini's son, Michael, was cast in the 2021 film The Many Saints of Newark to play a young Tony Soprano as a prequel to the show.